Um, Afternoon. I am doing my reading for the week ahead today on Friday afternoon because I am taking a week seeing any clients or doing any tarot readings for an entire weekend. But I did want to keep up with the readings for the week ahead because I found them quite fascinating. And so here it is. And the first card, the card to represent the week ahead, is truth. Okay. The Ace of Swords for me is truth and honesty. We have the single sword here for a single card, a single truth. The truth breaks through the material crown. Very much, if you're familiar with the Emperor's New Clothes, this concept that when something's said enough times, it feels like a truth, even when it's not. And then either side of the material crown, we have an olive branch for peace and a laurel branch for victory. For some of us, this may be very personal. This may be about speaking our truths, whether that's no, I can't do that, or I need help, or I've always wanted to do this. I do wonder whether this is also resonating on a much wider scale, on a political scale. But I'm just reading the cards and I'm trying to get as much guidance for each one of us. So this week, I think, is a week to speak your truth, but also look for the truth. Don't take anything at face value at the moment. A lot of people are working from a fear-based situation, which I can really understand. And as for the political world, Lord only knows. I will read through all the comments at the end. It's always lovely to have the comments, but I do focus on the cards during the reading. So this is the week for truth. Whether that's you speaking your truth, whether that's you looking for the truth behind meanings, whether that's in a personal, a work-related, or even a global-related situation. The advice card. To me, this feels very similar to last week's reading. I'm convinced it's a continuation of it. The Page of Swords is reminding you to watch your words. Okay, here we have the sword in this deck, in the Rider-Waite deck. The swords always represent words. And here we have somebody who isn't considering the effects their words will have. They are not looking at the sword, and we can't see the end of the sword. It is very easy to say what we think is the truth and to hurt somebody without realizing it because we don't appreciate why they are thinking what they do. One of the things that's really upset me about the pandemic is the number of people that are quite aggressive about their belief system with the pandemic, and I just don't think it helps. I certainly never changed my view because someone shouted at me, and I don't think anyone else has. So just whether this is politics, whether this is in your relationship, whether this is family, whether this is friends, do you know what? Don't let the political system divide us. I don't care what corner you're on. I've seen it divide friends, families, relationships. Don't allow your words to cause a bigger divide in any of your friendships or relationships at the moment. Because I think with the final card, well, not the final card because I'm doing the card at the bottom of the pack, but the card towards the end of the week is the Lovers. Now, the Lovers is such an interesting card. It has so many meanings, but one of its meanings is balance. We have Adam to represent for all of us our inner left brain, logical side, more yang based sort of inner masculinity, if you like. We have Eve to represent our inner femininity, again for all of us, our more creative, nurturing, intuitive side. And we have the angel to represent our connection with the divine. We are, I hope, I believe, coming towards the end of the age of Pisces. It has been dominated by patriarchy, by toxic masculinity, and by capitalism. As we move into the age of Aquarius, I don't want to live in a matriarchy. I don't believe a matriarchy would be any damn better than a patriarchy. I want to live in a truly balanced society. And yet what I see at the moment is people not listening to other people's opinions. And again, whether this is personal for you or whether it's the bigger, wider picture, I'd see people being divided further. So I would say this is a week for balance. This is a week for breathing before you react. When we breathe before we react, we get a chance to act. We get a chance to actually, even if it's to say, I don't agree with what you're saying, but I'm not going to get involved right now. That to me is often a mature choice. And the card at the bottom of the pack, see, that's why I love tarot. After everything I've said, the card at the bottom of the pack, 3 of Cups. Coming back together, friendships, support groups, circles. I know, particularly in the UK or England, I've lost track of what the rules mean where, it's actually really hard to create these circles. What sometimes I wonder in my darker moments, this, separation between us, is that to break us down into more dividable groups? I don't care whether it is done on purpose or not. I think it is happening. So this is just a call out. Come back together, whether that's online, whether that's virtually, whether that's following whatever rules you may be under right now. Don't let this pandemic, don't let the politics separate us, because we really do need each other. We need to form those support groups, different wheels. When I think about my support groups, I've got spiritual groups and groups that are parents of children that have got children like my kids. There's all sorts of wheels that keep me together, and I would have gone under without those support groups. So I think, just coming all the way back, always try to speak your truth, but gently and kindly, and try and see the truth. Don't allow your words to run away with you, whether this is personal, whether this is in the bigger political stage or on social media. Consider the effect your words will have. Okay, one of the things that really bugs me on tarot Facebook groups is this idea that a tarot reader is an oracle of God and they just say what's in the cards. I disagree. Actually, the most important part of my job is making sure my client can cope with and understand what I'm saying. I am responsible for how they hear my words because I'm speaking them. And I think that's so true in all conversation. Just breathe before you act, whether that's answering on social media, whether that's on the phone, whether that's with a personal friend or a loved one. Just take a moment before you answer. Make sure you act instead of reacting, and let's come together, okay? Whether that's online, whether that's in small groups, however we can do it, let's come together. So I am off social media for the weekend. I have got a Zoom circle on Monday. I will share the link after this. It's recorded, so if you either A, hate Zoom, or B, can't make it, if you book your place, you'll automatically get a video link the day after. And this Monday, as requested, I'm going to be talking about the Norse myths, the runes, and how my working with runes has completely shaped my perception of the world. I mean, it really has, and that's what I will be talking about. But it is a chat. It's nothing, you don't have to do anything. You don't need any sort of experience. It's just kind of, if you're interested in Norse mythology or runes or what it's all about, then jump onto that Zoom session and come and chat or listen or ask questions, and it would be really good to share a bit of the Norse mythology with you all. So I am off to cook pizza for my kids and to have a social media and tarot free weekend. Have a great weekend, and I just think it's really important we look for the truth and we reach out and help each other from whatever side of whatever mad arguments going on. Let's just help each other this week.